Hi fellow traders, I hope everybody had a great day today. This was a very slow start to Monday. Um, I'd say 4/5 of the day. I wouldn't even say 3/4. I would say 4/5 of the day was pretty much dead for me. I sat here all day waiting, looking for an opportunity, looking for one of those clean moves where I can make some decent profit. And one didn't set up until it was time for me to walk out the door. So I shared with you guys in chat before I left Roku. I told you to watch it. Looked like it had a clear, shot down to the 100 moving average. But, I had to kind of break my rule a little bit. I made a rule that I was going to leave my laptop home. I'm not going to take it with me when I'm out running around. But in this case, I've been waiting all day for this stock to set up. It set up, so I had to trade it. It was a little bit crazy what happened, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. But just a really, really slow day until the end of the day, and we ended up with another strong Monday. So really happy about that. And today in chat, I shared this video that E.T. or Eric Thomas, or some people know him as E.T. the hip hop preacher. The guy, I think he's the #1 motivational speaker in the world. But this is the guy that helped me really take the leap into trading. I was struggling trying to determine whether should I take the chance, should I take the risk. I know I was consistent, I was making good money, but was I ready to leave the security of a full-time job and go into the unknown? But this guy, the motivational speeches that he put out on YouTube and all of that really got me pumped up, and I have to credit him with helping me get to where I am today. And I still listen to the content that he puts out. It's really, really amazing. And today, this video talked about side B. And it's the side that nobody tells you about. I don't know, for younger guys, I don't know if you might have come along after records were obsolete. But back in the day, the artist would make an album of like 14 to 16 songs. And the record companies would release them, a song here and there. If one was popular, they would put it on this little, what we call the 45, which was a single song record. And the popular song would be on side A, and whatever fluff song or filler song would be on side B. I mean, you could put birds chirping or dogs barking and people probably wouldn't care. The only reason they bought that record was for side A. And we, especially us seeking to be traders, we're giving side A all day long. We're giving, okay, I'm giving you my roadmap, just like I said I'm doing now. I'm giving you my roadmap. Other people, you can read a book. People will say, hey, I'm giving you my my strategies that have made me all of this money, but they're not giving you the rest of the story. And the reason why I started my roadmap is so not only am I giving you the steps, but I'm giving you the truth. And some of you have already kind of told me you don't want to do all of this work, but that's what it's going to take to get here. And that's the side B that nobody knows about. Nobody will well, they know about it, but they don't tell you about it, because if they did, you probably wouldn't buy anything. You probably say, well, I don't want to go into trading because I don't want to do all of this. But watch that video. I'm going to put the link down in the description part. He can explain it a whole hell of a lot better than me. Like I said, he's an awesome motivational speaker. And if you never listen to anything else he puts out, listen to that, because that explains exactly what I've been trying to, the message I've been trying to convey to you guys from day one. You got to know the rest of the story. You can't just know all of the good stuff, all of the bells and whistles. You got to know what's behind it. And I had to seek it out because nobody was telling me. And everything that I sought out, that's what I'm sharing with you guys. So please, I don't care if you turn my video off and don't even look at my recap. Take that 15 minutes and listen to ET's message, because I guarantee you, if you follow that advice, it's going to enrich your life tenfold going forward. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at my one trade today. Plus, I've got another trade that one of my mentees sent me. I got permission from him to use that trade that we talked about today, and it shows a common problem that traders have, especially when they start to really get a grip on what's going on. They understand the setup, but they're trying to make it to, you know, cross that river to where they're allowing their trades to work so that they can really start making some money. So stay tuned for that too. So come on, let's take a look at my trades. All right, tomorrow we're having another live stream. Come in and get a sneak peek into what we're doing in the Average Joe trading community. Come in about starting about 8:30. You'll get to watch me build my watch list and go through my morning routine and hang out with us till about 11 o'clock. That's usually when I go to lunch. It just depends on the morning. If it's dead as it was this morning, we probably won't run till 11, but you know, hopefully we'll have some good opportunities out there in the morning. It's also a 2 for Tuesday deal day. The only 2 subscriptions that we're offering on special is going to be the quarterly and the enhanced mentoring. Those are the 2 packages that we're offering the 2 for Tuesday deal on. The link will open up at midnight tonight, and it'll run through midnight Wednesday morning. So just one day. If you want to take advantage of it, it'll be there after Tuesday. It will be gone. So this is a trade that I wanted to share with you. This is from one of the traders that I did a mentor session with today. And we went over his trade. And the problem that he's having is not letting his trades work. You know, taking them off too soon. And, you know, when he takes them off, the trade ends up doing what he wants it to do. And doesn't really give him a clear signal to stop out. So, you know, you can see here, now he trades the 2-minute opening range. That's just what he likes to do. That's fine. I have some that trade the 3-minute, some trade 10 minutes, some trade 15. You know, you choose the time frame that best suits you and your comfort zone, your comfort level. And so he chooses the 2. So here's the 2, the high, the first 2-minute candle, the low, and you know, he gets in right on cue. Okay. But this thing runs up, it pulls all the way back. Okay, here it opens here. We sell off down to, he's got different colors than me too, the 9, and the VWAP gets bought back up. And this candle opens up here, starts to push and sells and comes back. Now, for me, I probably would have gotten out here. You know, knowing me. Number one, I wouldn't get in this price action. But if for some reason I got in this price action, I'd have been looking at these candles here. Lower high, lower high, lower high, lower low. Here we are. I would have gotten out and then waited for all of this to finish and bought it off of this. That's just kind of me. You can see this is kind of a bullish pattern coming in, but he held through the storm, and that's fine. He held through the storm. We never got a close below the 9. You know, market maker's trick, trying to take out hard stops. Held through this. Nerves of steel. And that's what we got to have in order to do this. We got to trade with no fear. And we have to get that fear out of, out of our system. And, everything started looking good. We broke through this. And he held through all of this for this little teeny weeny pullback to kick him out. So, and a lot of times that's going to happen when you're relatively new. You're just starting to make some money and you just don't want to give any back. So he admitted that he had the fear of losing money, number one, because he had been red and now he was green. He didn't want to go back red. So that fear of losing money came into play. Plus, he was watching his P&L. So I can't stress to you enough why watching your P&L can be detrimental to your trading. Once you get to a certain level. Now, as a beginner, if you just watch your P&L and when you get $100, you take it. When you get $100, you take it. The problem is you got to be willing to stop out at $50 if all you're going to do is grab 100. But you're going to be limited in your growth. You will never grow and you'll never start making any real money because you will not be able to allow your trades to work. Now, very seldom do we see a stock run up like we did on ROKU, and we'll look at ROKU here in a minute. But very seldom do we see a stock that runs up like that without any significant pullbacks or, messing around. So you have to expect these type moves. And as long as your technical level doesn't get breached, you don't want to take it off. Because here, I don't know how much he was down, but I'm sure he was down more than what he made on this trade right here, which makes absolutely no sense. And we talked about this, and I got his permission to share this and to share what we talked about, as long as he remains anonymous. But, and this is exactly what we talked about. You have to, if you have to just put a hard stop in and walk away so that you won't do anything stupid, then you do that. Okay, when I start feeling out of control, you guys know I will get up and leave. I will put in a stop and I will get up and walk outside or do something if I start to feel antsy. And these are things you have to learn about yourself. You take your time and you learn these things about yourself. That's what's important. So we talked about this. You don't want to watch a P&L and you want to allow your trade to work. As long as it doesn't hit your stop or it doesn't technically take you out, you let this trade work and work its way up to your targets. I can't really say anything else about it. Now, here's another classic mistake. Because he missed this, he admitted that this was kind of like a revenge trade where, he just wanted to get in and get the rest of this move. Well, we had a nice hold here of, the 20. We had a nice hold here to 20, but he bought it before we broke the 9. Okay, the 9 is going to be key here. What we should have done was waited until it got over the 9, closed here, and then if this candle opened and pushed above, that would be the signal to get in. Here he got in a little bit too early and made another cardinal sin by not taking it off once he lost his technical level. He lost the technical level here that he based his trade off of and did not take it off and ended up taking a massive loss. He was up, I think he said he was up 60 to 68 bucks or so, and then ended up being down 156. Now this doesn't account for commissions. So he may be down 170 bucks or so on this. But really, this is just a cardinal sin. And this is what happens when you have trouble with fear. Your fear of losing. So starting Wednesday, the rubber's starting to hit the road with our Roadmap to Success series. We're going to learn one strategy, and in the process of learning that strategy, I'm going to show you a way that you could kind of eliminate fear. But you got to work at it. It's not going to happen overnight. It's something that you got to practice. You got to put into practice, and you got to have the discipline to stick to it. There are no quick fixes in this trading deal, especially when it comes to your mindset. But you can build a habit of thinking this way. So that's what we're going to be, we're going to start looking at that on Wednesday. So be prepared for that. All right, so let's take a look at Roku. This was my trade, and I've been waiting and waiting and waiting on this all day. Okay, I was waiting for this to put in the backside. You see this huge run up at 9. At 9:30 at the open. I mean, this thing just kept going. Now, it wasn't on our scan, so it wasn't on my watch. I wasn't really chasing this thing, even though it would have worked. But I kind of let it go, and I'm like, this thing has got to come back at some point. So I thought it might pull back here. It didn't, so I was watching it here. It didn't, and this actually started holding that support, and I was like, damn, how far is this thing gonna go? And so we went up again, made a higher high, pulled back, made a higher low, and I'm like, we're not gonna get it. And we made a higher high here, but you could tell the volume kind of went away. We started to slow down, so I'm thinking, hey, this might be ready to put in a backside move. And sure enough, it did. But before I trade it, it's got to put in a lower low, which it didn't do yet. It didn't put in a lower low here, but it put in a lower high. And then it put in a lower low. So I waited for the bounce, and I couldn't get in here because we were too close to this support. We had a daily pivot, we had the VWAP, and we had the 50. No way I was going to short into that. So I waited for it to crack through this. And, unfortunately, it was right when I had to go. But I was telling you guys before I left, this is what I'm going to be watching. Watch for this. We had a clean shot down to the 100. And this is probably the smallest move I would even take. But I felt we would at least get to the 100 here. And then from there, we could get down, potentially to this 47.60 level if this thing got going. So I waited for the setup. I didn't anticipate. I could have anticipated it and got in before I walked out the door. I didn't. I waited for the setup. I got in. We did get a bounce, which sometimes we do. And here, this candle came all the way back through, closed above all of this again. And I've seen this trick too many times. I've seen it too many times. So I waited for this. This candle opened, sold off a little bit. Right at the end of the count, it ran up and then it, you know, it pulled back. So it really didn't confirm this just yet. So as soon as this candle opened, if this candle had made a new high, I would have been out. You know, because I was sitting in the carpool line just waiting and watching at this moment. So it didn't take me out. I sat there. Then it started coming down. And here's where I made another bonehead decision. I honestly don't want to tell you, but I don't have a choice. You know, at 3:30, if you're in short trader, you're supposed to be at 2-to-1. So what I should have done was sold half my position. Okay, that's what I should have done. But I said no. This thing is gonna get to the 100. It was probably just waiting until, you know, the 3:30 people had to cover. So I'm gonna hang on to it. As long as they don't close me out, I'm gonna be good. And sure enough, this candle came down and it hit me. So as soon as I was out, I was good. But the thing kept going. So you should have seen me I was in the far left lane trying to pull over, trying to find a place to pull over so I could, you know, manage this trade. And, you know, finally got over. I was able to cover some here, but I messed up my order. I forgot that I had put in 250 for half. I was going to do 200, but I forgot I at the end did 250 and ended up putting in 300 shares, and it left me long 50 shares. So that's the sell you see here. Since I was long, I mean, I really didn't realize it till I got ready to come in the house. And I was logging off my laptop, and I realized I was long 50 shares. It really didn't hit me. So I just held on to it to see if we were going to go up, or at least so I could just cover the commissions on that extra ticket. Which brings me to another point. These guys screwed me out of a ticket today. This right here, this is the same order. This is the 250 limit order I had sitting out, waiting for, you know, it to hit 48.35, which is where this was when I got in. But it split it into 2 tickets, and it actually had billed me for 2 tickets. So, you know, I need to figure that out, or find out if they just counted it and they didn't bill me. You know, I don't know. So we'll see. I'll see tonight whether they nail me for extra commission or not. But this should not be. This should be 1 ticket right here, or 1 trade, because both of these are together. You see, all they did is split it up to match the orders, the order flow. But I don't know. We'll see. But I'm happy with it. $654 to start the week out with. You know, damn, that's almost as much as I made last week. You know, if not more. I can't even remember what I made last week in the small account. But really solid way to start the week. I'm very happy. Very pleased with it. So hopefully we can keep this week going strong. We'll have a strong open tomorrow for you guys on live stream. You know, hopefully we can take a couple of trades then, and, you know, have a solid Tuesday. But you guys have a great night, a great evening, and I will catch you guys tomorrow.